This is an overview of matrix multiplication. Here is a matrix. It's got 3 rows and 4 columns. It's a 3 by 4 matrix. This is a vector. It's got 4 entries. What does this product mean? What it is, by definition, is a linear combination of the columns of the matrix where the coefficients are given by this vector. That is to say, here are the 4 columns of the matrix laid out. This product is the linear combination of them where the first one is multiplied by 1, the second one is multiplied by 2, the third one is multiplied by 1, and the fourth one is multiplied by 3, and then you add them up. That's a linear combination of the columns, and then what that will be is a 3 vector, because these are all 3 vectors. And we calculate it component-wise. So the first entry will be the linear combination of the first entries, and then the second entry, and so forth. And in fact, we don't generally write this out. We can do that right from here, from the tableau. It's going to be a 3-dimensional vector, and we'll do it one row at a time. Here's the first row, and so it's let's just work it out here. It's 1 times 1 plus 2, there's your coefficient, times minus 1 plus 1 times 2 plus 3 times 1. And that's the first entry. Those cancel. It's 1 plus 3, that's 4. Second entry, it's 1 times 2 plus 2 times 4 plus 1 times 0 plus 3 times 1. And that's 2 plus 8 plus 3 is 13. 13. And then finally, the last one, 1 times 4 plus 2 times 3 plus 1 times 1 plus 3 times 0. That's 4 and 6 is 10. And 1 is 11. So there's the answer. That's the product of this matrix and this vector. Okay, let's do another one. Well, this is different. Same matrix, but now it's multiplied by a matrix. Well, the first column of this matrix is the vector that we just used in our last calculation, but now I've got another column. Well, here's how I think of this. I think of these columns as the ingredients and this vector as the recipe that tells me how to put the ingredients together to make a cake, and that's the cake. So I've got the ingredients and a recipe. And now what I've got here is the same set of ingredients, but I've got 2 recipes side by side. So I'm going to get 2 cakes. Now each of these cakes will be a linear combination of these columns, so it'll be a 3 vector. There's the first, and the second one is going to go right beside it, and that's the one that will be formed from this recipe right here. So I'm just doing 2 versions of the calculation I just did, and I'm putting them together. Alright, well, the first one I've done, so I'm not going to do it again. It's 4, 13, 11. 4, 13, 11. There we are. And the second one I have to do, well, actually, it's a pretty simple one. We're not using the middle 2 ingredients at all. I got zeros there. We're using twice the first ingredient and minus, taking away twice the second ingredient. So 2 ones are 2. Minus 2 times 1, well, that's down to 0. 2 2s are 4. Minus 2 times 1, that's 4 minus 2. That's 2. and 2 4s are 8, and minus 0, so that's 8. So there's the answer. So the number of rows of this product matrix is the number of rows of the first. The number of columns of the product matrix is the number of columns of the second, because these are the recipes. 2 recipes, 2 cakes. And, well, the middle ones, the number of rows of this and the number of columns of this, they have to match up. This has 4 columns, this has to have 4. Okay, now let's do one last one, except I'm going to ask you to pause the video and do this yourself. So this is a 2 by 3 matrix multiplied by a 3 by 2 matrix. So this has 3 ingredients, and these recipes have 3 coefficients, so they match. So this is defined. The product is going to have there's 2 recipes, so there'll be 2 cakes. And each of these is a linear combination of 2 vectors, of 2-dimensional vectors. So this will be a 2 by 2 matrix. Go ahead, work it out. Okay, now let's see what the answer is. I hope you've worked it out. There's the answer. Did you get it? I hope so. Let's see. Let's just look at a typical entry. So here, let's take this entry 7. This is from the second recipe. So it comes from the second recipe here. And it's the first entry, so it'll come from the first entry of the 3 ingredients. So it's the linear combination of these guys with these coefficients. 1 times 1 is 1. Minus 2 times minus 3, that's minus 6. So that's plus 6. So 1 plus 6 is 7. And then 3 and 0 doesn't add to it, so you get 7. So there's the answer.